Assault Bengal.
Now, the assault gun we already have.
Yes, and you can sell his. Can you sell initial weapons?
No, you cannot
Ah,
sell
right.
initial weapons. Iron Bangles is good to get three.
We should explain the slot thing. Since well, they'll explain that later.
Yeah, they'll explain that here in a little bit.
Well, let's skip over the materia tutorial. We can explain that a lot quicker.
Yeah.
So we'll explain in greater detail what the slots are about in a few minutes.
This guy really didn't do anything.
This little tower area is a mini tutorial area. They explain treasure chests and save points here,
Yes.
but not yet.
Now, there's nothing in here right now, but come back here in the morning.
They also explain limit breaks here as well.
They do also explain limit breaks, but they don't explain it in great detail.
Yeah, we've explained them in greater detail.
The top floor, of course, is the inn, but we don't need that one.
I'm also keeping a tally of how many limit breaks you've done so we know when we level up. How many times have you used Big Shot?
Once.
Once? Alright, good. Just making sure. Now, those that have seen Final Fantasy Advent Children, they should recognize this place. That's a sad thing. I've actually heard of a lot of people seen Advent Children, but never played 7.
Alright, people.
New character. Tifa. Or Tifa.
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 One of my personal favorites of Dissidia.
Now, here is another rumor. If you give it to Marlene, eventually something's supposed to happen.
We'll explain greater detail later.
If you give it to Tifa, it just affects a date scenario later in the game. So,
Give it to Tifa. Yeah. Everyone loves the big-breasted barmaid. Especially since she can kick your ass. Sit on his shoulder.
I see the old pinball going into the hidden place trick.
Yeah.
And notice, everybody else jumps down.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Sit down. Have a beer. Or
Yes,
something hard.
give him something hard.
Well, there are rumors that Cloud's actually gay. There's also rumors that you can get a cross-dressed Cloud in battle. I've heard a lot of rumors about this game. There's another rumor about a third secret character that's called Holy. It's supposed to be an angel. I've also heard of a fourth secret character that's a demigod, but none of which are true. If you read rumors about Final Fantasy VII and it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Like the cheese weapon.
The cheese weapon, oh god. And the turquoise weapon. Oi. Or supposed to be getting a white chocobo outside of cheating.
Is that a cheat?
And even then, it's just a cosmetic thing. Also, chocobo breeding is going to be a bonus video. I know Lone Sliver here loves chocobos.
Disc 2 or Disc 3?
You decide.
I've never really got the timing down on it.
Okay.
So I think we should do it on 3.
Okay. Also, fun fact, people believe that the concept for the Al Bhed from Final Fantasy X originated in that room. The guy on the screen, he looks kind of like a Final Fantasy VII version of the Al Bhed. And above his head is Sin. Uh-huh. There's the word Sin, at least. So some people believe that the Al Bhed originated from that character. I don't think it's true. I think it was just a news reporter with glasses. And the Sin they're referring to is the Avalanche group.
Yes, promise.
So those that play this game all the way through, they're going, aha.
And mysteriously, we are transported to another place at another time.
Hooray for mysterious transportations.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Final Fantasy without them.
Oh, you might find this absolutely hilarious. This is going into a Final Fantasy VIII thing. People believe that the instance of Final Fantasy VIII after Disc 1 is all a dream. That Squall died. Remember what happens at the end of Disc 1? You keep pressing X.
Sorry, thought it just dropped dead.
Do you remember what happens?
Not terrible.
I'm sorry, I had to give him the spoiler. I'm not going to tell anyone because I'm going to do a future LP of that. But there's rumors going around that everything after that event is just a dream. In the moments he's dying.
It makes sense.
Doesn't to me.
Well, it makes sense where the rumor originated from.
Yeah. But the actual practice of it's kind of, yeah. It actually took me forever to figure out how to pronounce the name of this town that they're actually in. Yeah. 'Cause I was still a kid when I first saw that word.
Yeah, I remember you also used to call Sephiroth Sephiroth.
I did? I thought always called him Sephiroth.
No, you called him Sephiroth.
I remember calling the Chocobos Kakabos.
Yes, I remember that.
Because my ex-stepdad, he used to play this game a lot, and that's how he pronounced it, and that's the only other way, the only other person I knew that played video games at the time.
You know, but Final Fantasy X fixed that for you.
Oh, yes, yes.
I remember when that came out, we were like, yes! Voice! Yes!
The first,
Find out!
the first voicing of Final Fantasy. Well, not technically. Technically, Final Fantasy VIII had the first voice. Because at one point, Renoa actually screams. You can hear her voice.
And there's also singing in it.
That's singing, yeah.
Yes, but 10 was the first
Full game that's voiced.
full voiced game.
Good voice actors, too. There's actually people that claim the voice actors of Final Fantasy X sucked. And they quote the laughing scene as bad voice acting.
Ha! 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 Yeah, they're trying to teach her how to laugh.
Yeah. Or him. He was the one that was down, I think. No. Other way around. Yeah.
He was trying to teach her how to laugh.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out when I get the game back. You know, I think if I actually do an entire LP on every Final Fantasy, I'll be the first Let's Player on YouTube that does that. That's done that.
Alright, so, if you don't know how to use... If you do not know how to use materia, okay, I'll explain it.
We'll explain it.
If you do know how, you wouldn't understand.
But since me and him know quite a bit of detail about the materia system, we'll explain it.
We'll also explain how new materia affects old materia.
Yes.
How materia slotted affects each other, and all sorts of nifty stuff.
Also, how to get duplications of previous materia
Yes.
through cheating and non-cheating. Well, I've heard of cheats involving it, but I've never actually used it.
There's no way that you can cheat to get new materia except for cheating.
Well,
There's no way to get an exact duplicate
yeah.
except for cheating.
Okay, let's...
Speaking of which, I found out that it's not necessarily true, that rumor that I was finding.
Alright, he was telling me about another rumor, and we'll explain that once we get said materia.
Okay, so, materia explanations.
Yep.
Okay, your weapon and your bangle, weapon and armor. If you have a slot on your weapon or armor, you can actually select that slot and equip the materia.
Yeah, technically, storyline-wise, it's actually being equipped to slots on the item itself. Equip new ones.
You gotta choose the new weapon. You gotta buy him, you gotta find him. Now, the Gatling gun has worse attack and attack percentage, but the assault gun is better. Not only that, it has a double slot.
That's linked.
That's linked. The bronze bangle is worse than the iron bangle.
And it has no...
It has a slot.
Excuse me.
We're gonna come into it a little later.
Tell him about the growth on the thing as well.
Okay, now if it's normal growth, you're, anytime you see AP on your victory screen, that's how much AP you're getting for your materia. You see underneath the stars it says AP 0 to next level 2,500. To get the next star, you need 2,500 AP, which means you gotta keep battling.
Yep.
Once you get that second star, you get the next ability under the ability list.
Which in this case would be Cure 2.
And so on and so forth. The more AP you get from fights, the faster your materia grows
Yes.
up.
What happens when we get all-stars?
When you get all-stars, it masters the materia. The materia splits, and you have then a mastered materia and a brand new materia of the same type. So, say I master that restore materia, I'll have everything up to Cure 3. I'll have that mastered materia, which won't grow anymore, and I'll have a brand new restore materia that I can master from flesh.
Which means if you're running low on materia and you want multiple copies of the same thing, just keep battling. Really interesting concept.
Yes. Now, linked slots. Linked slots, you can say, have lightning and ice.
Let's explain link slots when we get it all, which is coming up really soon.
Alright.
We'll explain the link slot in a few minutes.
Now, there are four different types of growth. No, three different?
There is...
No, there's four different types of growth. There's none, which is only on a very few amount of weapons. There's normal, which is on just about everything. There's double, which gives you double AP for any materia linked to those slots. Then there's triple, which is only on a total of 3 weapons.
And only certain characters can equip those weapons.
Right.
But they're really helpful.
Now, much like a couple of the other games in the Final Fantasy series, certain characters can only equip certain weapon types. Cloud can